The film began with Kid sitting in front of his house, listening in awe to his mother's story about the legend of Lord Hanuman. The tale created wondrous images on Kid's little face, mesmerized by every word his mother spoke. His mother, Neela, told him about the bravery and sacrifice of Hanuman, the ape god who braved danger for the sake of justice. Little by little, in Kid's mind, the image of Lord Hanuman became not just a legend but a living figure, someone exciting and fascinating. However, behind his charm, Kid also learned about Hanuman's mistakes and the punishment he received. When Lord Hanuman devoured the sun and had to lose his powers because the other gods punished him, Kid felt compassion and strength behind the imperfections. For him, Hanuman was not just a mythical figure but also a mirror of the strength that could be found in imperfection. As night turned to dawn, Kid made a vow in his heart: he would be like Hanuman. As Kid grew up, his determination to live up to Hanuman's spirit grew more vigorous. He became a mysterious figure in the underworld, bringing Hanuman's presence through intimidating monkey masks to the illegal fighting arena, Itana. With agile movements and mesmerizing strength, Kid mesmerized the audience as if he was seeing a living legend in front of him. However, amidst the neon lights of the arena, the drama of the legend of Hanuman losing his powers unfolds once again. Although Kid delivered a spectacular performance, he had to taste the bitterness of defeat at the hands of a formidable opponent. Like Hanuman, who was forced to feel his weakness in the past, Kid must face that strength alone was not enough to overcome all obstacles. After fighting, Kid sat in a dark corner of a crowded bar as the night rolled on, sipping a drink amongst the crowd. In front of him, a large television screen displayed the solemn face of a famous spiritual guru, Baba Shakti, who lectured on wisdom and inner calm. Suddenly, a tiny shadow appeared beside him, distracting him from the telly. A boy came. It seemed Kid had been waiting for him. Wordlessly, Kid gave the boy a firm gesture. The boy nodded in understanding, confirming that he had done his job. He was an informant groomed by Kid to snoop on Queenie Kapoor, the entertainment area manager who was considered suspicious, especially by Kid himself. In such a world of intrigue and ambition, the little boy's information was valuable to him. However, the warnings conveyed by the boy were not just about his duties as an informant. There was also a touch of caution, a warning about the dangers lurking around Queenie Kapoor. Nonetheless, the Kid was not deterred. He knew his steps in this dark world must be taken cautiously. Still, his determination to revenge would never fade. While Baba Shakti's voice continued to echo in the background, Kid stared at the television screen in deep thought. Between the glittering neon lights and the darkness of night, the traps and intrigues surrounding his world, Kid knew that the journey to the truth would be fraught with obstacles. The next day, sunlight shined on the bustling streets, signaling the beginning of a day filled with intrigue and surprises. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the city, Queenie Kapoor sat at a cafe, enjoying a cup of coffee, when suddenly a homeless man moved closer to her in a wheelchair. Queenie quickly and mercilessly shooed him away, thinking of him only as an unwanted intrusion. However, unbeknownst to him, the wheelchair was just a distraction, a carefully constructed trick. The man in the wheelchair was not homeless but a skilled pickpocket, nimbly able to launch a wallet from bag without leaving a trace. The heist was fast and organized in the crowd as if the pickpockets had rehearsed it repeatedly. What she didn't realize, however, was that behind the scenes, there's a mastermind playing their every move to perfection. That was Kid, who was meticulously leading the action as part of his larger plan. After the heist was successfully pulled off, Kid continued his plan with careful steps towards King's, where Queenie worked as the entertainment area manager. However, when he arrived at her room, the Kid's expression changed slightly when he saw a photograph on Queenie's wall. The photo featured Queenie with a man named Rana, the local police chief. Looking at the picture, memories of the past immediately came to Kid. He still remembered how his relationship with Rana was a past that was full of conflict. When Queenie offered him some money as a token of gratitude for his help, Kid flatly refused. Money was not what he was looking for. He needed a job, a way to survive. However, Queenie was not easily fooled. You wouldn't just give a job to a stranger, especially for no good reason. However, Queenie's demeanor changed when the Kid showed determination and resolve. He even went as far as begging, showing the burn scars on his hands as proof that he was ready for any job, no matter how hard it was. Kid spoke in a firm yet desperate tone, stating that he was used to menial and lowly jobs and was okay with that as long as he could get a job. Seeing the determination in Kid's eyes and understanding that his decision would have consequences, Queenie finally gave in. Reluctantly, Queenie gave Kid a chance. He offered Kid a job as a janitor in the king's kitchen. Although the job may not have been prestigious, Kid accepted the offer. For him, this was the first step towards his revenge mission. After debuting as a janitor in the king's kitchen under the alias Bobby, Kid soon fell into a harsh and grueling routine. Underneath his simple janitor's mask, he hid his genuine sense of determination and purpose. However, he was also aware that his new role would be challenging, especially with a sharp-eyed supervisor like Alfonso always watching him. Alfonso was a gangster working for Queenie. After a hard day's work, Kid left the kitchen and stepped into the bustling street. He quickly stopped at a nearby stall, where he obtained the information he needed. Cautiously, he asked the shopkeeper about how to buy illegal firearms. Before long, a boy appeared, offering to escort him to the right place. Without hesitation, the kid followed the boy's steps, passing through dark and narrow alleys until they arrived at a place hidden from public view. There, amidst the gloomy and dark atmosphere, Kid found himself in front of a weapons dealer. With a pounding heart, he witnessed a quick and discreet transaction. Despite his lack of money, Kid still decided to buy the gun, realizing that it would probably be an essential protection in a harsh and dangerous world like King's. Kid returned to his quarters with the weapon in hand, contemplating his next steps. Amid his busy work as a janitor, Kid witnessed a moment that caught his attention. As he was about to deliver a drink to Queenie, he saw Queenie scolding a woman named Sita, a prostitute who had upset a VIP customer at the bar. Kid's gaze flashed between the tension created in the room as Sita tried to defend herself and Queenie fiercely confronted her. However, things get even more interesting when Alfonso, the trusted supervisor, arrived in the same room. He was handed a sum of money by Queenie that must be deposited. Seeing the trust Queenie placed in Alphonse, Kid saw an unexpected opportunity. Without hesitation, Kid approached Alfonso, offering him a lucrative opportunity. He asked Alfonso to come to Kid's usual illegal fighting arena in Yatana and place a bet on Kid's opponent. Without Alfonso knew, Kid would intentionally lose, allowing Alfonso to earn quick and easy money. However, Kid did not give the opportunity away for free. In exchange, he asked Alfonso to recommend him to Queenie so he could get the promotion he wanted. This request was happily accepted by Alphonse, who earned some extra pocket money quickly and the chance to catch Queenie's attention in a way that was favorable to him. Kid got promotion as a waiter to access the VIP floor. When Alphonse quickly made good on his promise, Kid realized the time had come to say goodbye to his post in the kitchen. He knew that his new assignment would bring him closer to his goals. However, Kid was involved in a situation that made him uncomfortable in his new job as a waiter. He had to serve a guest who turned out to be with Sita, the woman Queenie had recently lashed out at. Sita looked awkward and forced in the situation, making Kid disgusted and resentful of the man. However, he knew that he had to contain his anger. Seeing Sita forced into the situation, Kid was reminded of his bitter past, where his mother was repeatedly humiliated by officials during a land eviction in his village. Kid's patience was at its limit, and he felt almost unable to contain his anger anymore. He chose to go outside to cool his head. Amid his turmoil, fortunately, a stray dog came asking for food. Seeing the innocence and neediness of the creature, Kid's anger subsided slightly. However, the peace he felt didn't last long because a short while later, Sita arrived. Sita thanked Kid for restraining her rage and not causing her further trouble. Seeing Sita's grateful face, Kid felt a sense of relief within himself for not causing trouble for Sita. Day after day he was passed, bringing Kid into a new routine. Every morning he faced shooting drills and fighting exercises, pursuing an unrelenting improvement in his physical and mental abilities. However, underneath his strong spirit, there was a pent-up grudge, a fire that continued to burn in his heart. His fighting skills improved rapidly, reflecting his fierce commitment to excellence. One day, Kid found himself standing in front of Sita, who was serving a VIP guest he was familiar with. The guest was no one but Rana Singh, the honorable police chief. Yet, for Kid, Rana's face triggered a storm of emotions within him. The kid's hands trembled uncontrollably, disturbing hidden tears, revealing old wounds over his mother's death. And in those seconds, the dark truth unfolded before him. Rana was his mother's killer. And from there, the kid's true motivations were revealed. In a forest village, Kid lived with his mother. The village was massacred, but Neela was able to hide Kid before Rana killed her and set her body on fire. Kid's futile attempted to save her, leaving his hands terribly burned and scarred. A long-held grudge now burns fiercely, fueling his determination to avenge his mother's death. His new assignment as a VIP waiter was only a mask for his secret agenda. Queenie's early pickpocketing scenario allowed him to work at King's, an exclusive brothel run by her, to meet Rana. Every day, Kid trained relentlessly, not only to improve his physical abilities and hone his survival instincts. Eventually, Kid secured a spot in the King's VIP lounge. However, his true goal never changed. He wanted revenge for his mother's death. On this rare occasion, Kid saw the perfect opportunity to accomplish what he had been waiting for. He served Rana cocaine spiked with powdered bleach. Rana then suffered a nosebleed, which forced him to use the bathroom. In the bathroom, Kid was waiting to finish her off. However, Kid's plans were disrupted when his attention was distracted, allowing Rana to retaliate and bravely resist Kid's attack. As the situation escalated, King's officers began to arrive, and Rana's subordinate cops intervened, pushing Kid into his way out the building. Fleeing in Alfonso's supercharger tuk-tuk, Alfonso recklessly tags along, adding a bit of black humor to Kid's escape race. However, a small mistake, such as running over an innocent boy, brought an unexpected end. The police arrested Kid while Alfonso managed to escape. As Kid woke up from his stupor, he realized that he was trapped in the car and taken to the police station. Fortunately, Kid managed to escape. Kid's escape journey gets longer and more dangerous. As he tried to escape, he faced a much larger force. During his escape, Kid was seriously wounded by sniper fire from an unknown helicopter and fell into a rushing river. The kid's body was riddled with severe wounds. As he floated in the river current, he was rescued by a mysterious group of people. They were Hydra community who was being targeted by Baba Shakti's growing political movement. They fought hard to save his life, removing the bullet still embedded in his flesh. When Kid finally regained consciousness, he found himself in a strange place, an ancient temple filled with an aura of serenity. He met a wise older man named Alpha, a revered of the Ardhanarishvara temple. Kid discovered that the people who had saved him were residents of this temple, and they had selflessly saved his life. Alpha wisely looked at Kid with understanding. He shared evocative words of wisdom among the statues of deities adorned the room. In the uncertainty of this world, we all share an unfathomable journey. We are part of the same force, though we may not realize it. Graciously, Alpha asked Kid to stay at the temple, where he could find refuge from the pursuing police. Without much consideration, Kid agreed to the request, finding sanctuary and profound meaning in a previously foreign place. The story's highlights deepen with the emergence of Baba Shakti, a figure of powerful influence. Baba Shakti was the person Kid saw on the television screen in one of the bars where he spends his time after a fight. The media attention surrounding Baba Shakti made it clear that he was not just anyone. He was a great spiritual master who wields terrifying power and influence. Even Rana, the police chief, came to Baba Shakti to seek answers to the chaos Kid caused. However, Baba Shakti had a much deeper view than just that incident. He believed that Kid was still alive. More than that, he was convinced that one day, Kid would become a threat to them. With decisiveness, Baba Shakti ordered Rana to find Kid immediately killed him, believing that a dark future awaited if Kid lived. That night, in the quiet depths of the temple, Alpha approached Kid with great deliberation. He lifted the veil of mystery surrounding their on-again, off-again relationship. Alpha explained that there was a reason why he claimed they were on the same side. It's not just coincidence but fate that has brought them together. The residents of the temple, including Alpha herself, are fighting against evictions and violence unleashed by the Rana at the behest of Baba Shakti. Baba Shakti was also the mastermind behind the tragedy that occurred in Kid's home village, leading to the death of his mother. He ordered the land eviction and violence that hit the town, leaving a deep wound in Kid's heart. Alpha gave Kid a fateful choice: the poison from the ancient trees in the temple. Only the strong and chosen would survive the poison's violence, and Alpha was convinced that Kid was one of them. Alpha guided Kid through a hallucinogenic experience. When the poison entered his body, Kid felt unimaginable pain. However, it's not just physical pain that strikes, but also a series of hallucinations that force Kid to reface long-buried trauma, in which he tear open his chest and was able to confront the trauma of his mother's death. Amid the torment, Kid felt a stirring awakening. He again realized the power that lies within him, a power that drives him to fight injustice and avenge his mother's death. This awakening prepared Kid to face his destiny with unwavering courage and determination. With his new awakening, Kid began to train his new soul with fierce determination, putting all anger and despair behind him. Every move he made, every exercise he underwent, was a step towards freedom from the shadows of his dark past. Meanwhile, Baba Shakti was busy with his devious political agenda in the outside world. In his skillful way, he used his power as a spiritual Grand Master to introduce his chosen candidate, Adesh Joshi, to his followers. The Grand Master nimbly campaigned on Adesh Joshi's behalf, asking each of his followers to support the man in the imminent election. What many did not know, however, was that Adesh Joshi was merely a puppet in Baba Shakti's hands, a political tool to achieve his greater ambitions. He was the choice placed before the eyes of the people as a symbol of strength and change. Still, he was a manipulation tool in a giant political game driven by Baba Shakti and her party. The heartbreaking scene was a turning point that ignited a new spirit in Kid. When he witnessed the temple's resident women who were severely injured by the torture of Varana's men, he knew that action had to be taken. Kid returned to the arena with a determined heart, but not for personal gain this time. He told his informant boy to place a large bet on himself, choosing to face off against King Cobra, the opponent who had defeated him earlier in the film. However, this time it was a different game, as Kid showed his cool and defeated his opponent with stunning skill. Not satisfied with the victory, Kid continued his match, this time facing a big, scary man. Despite his formidable opponent, Kid did not give up. He defeated the man with his wits and strength, ending the fight with a bang. He didn't use the money from the big win for himself, but instead offered it to the temple residents who needed help more than anyone else. His actions gave hope. It showed everyone around him that goodness and justice still exist, even in a world of darkness and violence. Sometime later, the general election was held. During Diwali, the people celebrated the victory of Baba Shakti's candidate. Their nationalist party celebrated their victory at the king's bar. Queenie was happy to be on hand to help with the arrival of the special guest. They didn't realize that uninvited guest, Kid and Alpha's warriors, had also arrived at the venue. Kid came in a neat suit with his monkey mask. He planned to continue his revenge mission. He announced his arrival by exploding a gas cylinder, and the battle began. Kid, who was busy serving the bar guards, was caught off guard by Queenie, who kept shooting at him. When Queen was about to finish him off, Seda hit Queenie with a tray that knocked him unconscious. Kid then cut off Queenie's thumb because Kid would need it to access the VIP area. Using Queenie's severed thumb, Kid immediately rushed to the VIP room. As expected, Rana, one of Kid's targets, was there. The Kid hit him so many times that he was killed. Kid then continued to the next target. Kid strolled as if enjoying his revenge. Then he saw the mastermind of his mother's death, Baba Shakti. Baba Shakti looked scared. Baba Shakti offered a peace treaty, but Kid refused. He would seek revenge for his mother's death. But when Kid was caught off guard, Baba Shakti managed to stab him. Immediately, Kid's anger peaked. He fought back and completed his long story of revenge. Kid killed Baba Shakti by stabbing him multiple times. Baba Shakti begged him for forgiveness, but Kid replied by saying there was no forgiveness for you. Kid plunged the dagger right into Baba Shakti's forehead at that moment. At the end of the story, a mysterious shadow appears before him. The figure radiated a strong and determined aura. Lord Hanuman radiated undeniable power. Kid felt a strong vibration around him as if the world was shaking. However, before Kid could ask more, the image began to fade. It was as if Lord Hanuman had only been present briefly to deliver an important message. Kid saw flashes of sweet memories with his mother as the image faded. The warm moments they once shared, his mother's gentle smile, and their laughter filled their home with happiness. A look of relief crossed Kid's face, avenging the years of hardship he had endured. The fight was over. His revenge was over. Determined, Kid picked himself off the ground, ready to face whatever might challenge him. Now, he has hope, strength, and beautiful memories of his mother that will strengthen his steps in every journey. So, what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you in the next video.